bad, and the odd. They don't half talk some bollocks.
Welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Odd. We're your hosts, Mark and Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hello.
So, we're talking Phantom of the Opera today, 1962. Hammer we're talking about. This is our 12th Hammer entry that we've watched. It's directed by Terence Fisher. So, like most, not all, but most of the films we've watched, it's directed by Terence Fisher. And it's a loose adaptation of both the original 1910 novel by Gaston Leroux and kind of feels quite a bit like a remake of the Universal one. Because I think in the original story, the Phantom's like disfigured from birth, but in both the Universal and the this one we're talking about today, he's kind of has acid in his face, kind of thing.
Yeah, it was so similar that I literally thought we were watching the same film for a chunk of it.
Even the colour palette looked similar, didn't it?
Yeah.
This one didn't do well for Hammer, so they kind of
I can imagine.
It's what's your thoughts?
This was an okay film that was a good 90% setup with no payoff.
Very little payoff. It got better in the second half for sure. The first half, in fact, most of it felt like a costume drama, didn't it? A melodrama rather than a horror film. There was just some odd, horrific bits. Well, I say odd, they were the bits that were fun, really.
Yeah.
In fact, in many ways, it reminded me in both look and feel and kind of tone of that earlier Hammer we watched, Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll. The costuming was the same, the locations looked the same, and so on. So this consisted of the main character in this is Herbert Lom. He's the Phantom. Herbert Lom, probably best known these days for being Inspector Dreyfus from the Pink Panther movies, but he had quite a pedigree in like British comedy. Funnily, in like The Lady Killers, and also in some Amicus horror films too. He was in Asylum, for example. He's got quite a broad range, but in this he was the Phantom, and he was a professor of some sort, wasn't he? He was a music professor, obviously.
He was a music teacher who'd put his whole life into an opera and a bunch of concerts and all this, that, and the other, but he couldn't get anyone to buy them.
Yeah,
so.
And he kind of got conned out, which brings us to the bad guy.
Yeah,
Michael Gough plays Lord Darcy. He's a right dick.
Yeah,
he's a right evil scumbag. Michael Gough is probably best known to, I say modern audiences, but this is still quite old these days, as Alfred in the Batman movies from Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher. Four movies, he's Alfred in those. He's quite a range as an actor, as Michael Gough, and in this he's a shithill, basically.
Yeah.
Darcy is a right pompous dick. He
finds like the ideal woman for his opera, and then because she won't sleep with him, gives her the boot. And then when his director speaks up, he gives him the boot. And then progressively, he just starts sacking everyone.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worryingly topical. So.
Yes. He's also, it all starts off where he complains to the theatre.
Oh, yeah. This is about 2/3 of the way through the film we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Very little actually happens for the first 2/3.
Well, there is a few spikes of fun, but it does actually, the whole drama starts with him, the little Lord Darcy complaining a certain box hasn't been sold after the theatre manager tells him that it's a sellout. And he says, oh yeah, people don't like sitting in it. They think it's haunted. They hear voices. And Darcy's kind of pissed off about this. He also, there's this producer, isn't there? Hunter, his name is, who we see kind of cajoling the star of the show, Maria, along, but Phantom goes and visits her, scares the wits out of her, and she leaves. That's that. So they have to audition for someone else. They find her quite a good singer, but as you say, he basically tries to seduce her and cajoles her into coming back to his flat, but she manages to escape with the help of the producer. This guy's such a lech. He really is. He's very Weinstein. It really is. but done in a 60s way, so early 60s way, I should say. So not as horrible as it could be, but it's still pretty. You know where this is going, all right?
Yeah.
But then Christine also hears the Phantom speaking to her, doesn't he? Like saying, "I can show you how to do this and all this, that, and the other." So, and she tells the producer about it, and he's like, "What?" So they decide to go back to the opera house, where they again hear the voice.
Kind of a rat catcher. So.
Yeah, well, they hear the voice, both of them, and said, "Leave here."
Yeah.
And then a rat catcher, played by Patrick Troughton, who's a proper overacting, pretty solid rat catcher in this, isn't he? Rat catchers are always fun in films, I find. But he's just doing his business, right? He's wandering around catching rats. He's got a big bag of rats on his back, a big sack of rats.
Yeah, it's like a little thing about how, like, they're like little puppies.
Yeah, he offers to sell them one for their dinner as well. And but he's walking around the theatre looking for rats, and suddenly this little guy who's credited as the dwarf jumps out and stabs him in the eye, of all things.
Yeah,
right in the eye.
It's really quite brutal, like unnecessarily.
And then,
this dwarf is the only guy that kills people.
Yeah, that's another thing. The Phantom doesn't really do it. Oh, I should have mentioned a guy gets hung from the rafters. And the police think it's a suicide, even though it's in the middle of an opera, which is another reason Maria, the original lead, runs away. They've left the theatre at this point, but then he sees all the rats running out, and he runs in to see what happens, and he finds. Does he see the Phantom at this point? I can't remember. They say he's got one eye at one point. And they find the rat catcher. It's a right state, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, because Christine hasn't slept with Lord Ambrose or gone back to his place, he dismisses her.
Keeps her out.
And he chooses what appears to be like a musical singer who's game, right? You can tell she's game. To do whatever he wants.
He comes in with like a low cut top and sort of like makes herself more pronounced as she steps up onto stage.
Yeah,
and the conductor is absolutely not having her. He keeps like stopping her. It's like start again, like tap tap tap.
When we see
stop, start again, tap tap.
Then what happens? They start. The sacking start. And then he goes to her house, and the landlady at her place mentions that he had a music professor there who's just left one day. And then he starts to look at these old manuscripts of this music professor, and he recognises the music from the opera, which is St. Joan, isn't it, or something about
Joan of Arc.
I will have to say the musical interludes in this film are a bit long. They go on and on a bit. Padding the time, really. And it wasn't that long a film. And it was Professor Pinktree. That's it.
Yeah.
Who they say was killed in a fire at a printing press.
Yeah.
And then we kind of find out.
It gets a bit detective-y here, where he goes to the print press and then asks them what happened. And then he goes to, I think it's the police, because he finds out that, the guy, the professor set the printing press on fire because they helped the Lord steal his work, basically.
Yeah.
So,
well, he told them it was his work. Basically, they put his name on the music rather than Professor Pinktree. So he's we do. I mean, the film's got 20 minutes left. It feels like it's getting to the end. It's like, what's going to happen here? Suddenly, we get a very extended flashback, don't we, of Professor Pinktree going to Lord Darcy. Darcy saying, "I'm a busy man. Do you want to do this or not? I'll give you £10 or something." And he goes, "It's my life's work. £10 is all you get." And then not only and I'll print it for you. And not only does he print it for him, he steals it. He basically puts his name on it, and which sends him nuts. He actually breaks in and tries to burn the press, but doesn't he douse flames with nitric acid or something? And it's
I can't remember if that's what happened or the flames get to a bottle of nitric acid and it explodes.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I can't remember. Something happens. He gets acid on his face.
The nitric acid is properly wrecks his face, and he
falls into the Thames.
Yeah,
He gets
and
dragged into a sewer.
Yeah, he runs to the river and kind of jumps into help the plane, and we see him swept away. And meanwhile, the producer is still investigating this. He figures out what storm drain it was near and all this. And him and Christine start having a thing together, don't they? We see a couple
of Phantom. Well, not even the Phantom. The dwarf kidnaps Christine.
Yeah, so. He does. But we do see a couple of cab rides in the meantime. We see the famous Michael Ripper as one particular cabbie at one point, but he's done up in this weird makeup, makes him look like a burn victim or plague victim or something. It's really weird. And then another old boy going on about, I don't want to take you around the park, but my missus might object and all that. So because I keep wanting to go around the park. Yeah, there's all that business. And then, as you say, the dwarf kidnaps her, and he starts making the Phantom kind of is playing Bach on a great big organ under the sewers. How that got there, I don't know. So close. But
it looks like it's built into the wall, and
and to get across this room, you have to jump in the sewage.
Yeah,
and
like it's a far enough space that you could
put a plank across it.
You could put a plank, or you could do a bit of a run and jump. But no, every character that crosses it instead jumps up to their armpits in sewer water and then hops out.
I did laugh at one point. A voice was given out, and he says, "Give us a water," and he kind of gets it out the sewer.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
But to be fair, I don't think he actually if I'm remembering correctly, he doesn't actually make a drink.
No, he
just pours it all over her face.
So. Makes her wake up and start singing again.
So
we get this basically this traumatized woman being forced to sing by this weird bloke with one eye, a mask covering everything but one eye. Quite a good look actually. Look, reminded me of Jason. Weirdly,
I can kind of see that.
Yeah,
especially because the mask was not it wasn't the standard Phantom mask where it's like the porcelain thing, nor was it like.
It was like leather, wasn't it? It was like leather.
Yeah, it looked like someone had molded skin onto more of his face.
Yeah, weird. It was weird. So, in the meantime, the Lord is sacking everyone, so it's really going to shit. Even all at one point, he sacks the conductor, who just gets up and leave, but then all the musicians all get up and leave at the same time. So, it's really going to crap for him. I'm trying to think what else happens. Basically, there's this massive flashback where the Phantom tells his story. All I can remember now is they finally put the show. At one point, the Lord Darcy almost gets attacked by the Phantom. He threatens him and he runs away.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it. We get no proper comeback. He should have died. He should have been the one with a knife in his eye, right? It's a bit annoying that didn't happen.
He walked away, and then as the Phantom's watching his life's work come to a conclusion, they do preface earlier, the Phantom knows he is dying. So
okay.
He's not well, so he's just watching the end of his show, and the fucking dwarf is running around in the top. He jumps onto the goddamn chandelier, which starts rocking and swinging right above Christine. And then, as the thing breaks, the Phantom leaps out of his box, pushes Christine out of the way, and as he's doing it, yanks his mask off, and then gets crushed.
So yes, but he does cry a bit. It's quite a sweet kind of ending because he gets to hear his life.
It's the one good ending for the Phantoms.
But the dwarf stuff makes no sense. The dwarf should have gone and got Lord Darcy. That should have been the way it was. Lord Darcy should have
the dwarf be a character.
Honestly, the dwarf should have chased Lord Darcy up. Lord Darcy climb on the chandelier to try and escape. That would have made more sense, wouldn't it? It didn't make any sense. And I have to mention this was it was called the London Opera House, I think, in the film, or something like that. But it was actually filmed at Wimbledon Theatre, which I lived there, grew up near. So I've been to that theatre many times and I recognised it. It was really weird to see it in this. So I think I remember when I saw this film as a kid, I saw it, but I hadn't put it together that it was Wimbledon Theatre, and I just assumed all theatres look exactly the same. That's what I was
That's a
thinking.
reasonable assumption.
When you're a kid, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Right. Okay. So, I'm not sure I've got much more to say. It wasn't great, was it? This is possibly the weakest film we've seen.
Yeah.
I think all the rest.
Definitely.
I mean, the werewolf one was a bit weak, but it was still bad. That's the thing. At least they had a werewolf, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this was
things had payoff. I mean, that one. Admittedly, the payoff was God couldn't let it go for one time.
Yeah, one time. I should also mention Terence Fisher used Dutch angles in the flashback sequence, didn't he? It was a lot of Dutch angles to try and illustrate we weren't in the regular story or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was a bit of that going on. Yeah, okay. So, not a great film. What would you give it out of 10?
Oh, I'd give this an easy 5.
Yeah, I think 5's reasonable. Let me check the IMDb score. I think it's higher than that, actually.
Probably.
I think it's more like 6 or something. Yeah, it's 6.4. That's quite high.
Wow.
That seems quite high. The cast was all right, though. It was well acted and so on. It was just a bit dull. And the ending was quite unsatisfying as well.
Yeah. I've got to say, this is probably one of the best, most overdramatic posters I've ever seen.
You like the poster?
The Phantom like riding a flaming chandelier down.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that looks good. Pulp Fiction kind of.
Yeah.
Easy comic, not easy comics. It looks like a 30s kind of poster. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the idea.
It's on the wiki page if you want to go and have a look. Yeah. Okay. So I think I agree with you that this is a 5. That's how it feels to me. All right then, let's wind it up there until next time we do the Hammer. So bye from me.
Bye.